Fallout 4 doesn't even count over 1 million caps. We've become too wealthy. Let's go over the 2 best unlimited caps glitches in Fallout 4, which are still working after the next gen patch and updates. But there does seem to be a lot of confusion around them, so here's exactly how you're going to do them for yourself on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, right at the start of the game. But first, a word from today's sponsor, Watcher of Realms, a next generation fantasy RPG that's free to play on both PC and mobile with stunning graphics. But Watcher is about to give you more with the first anniversary celebrations. For this special occasion, it's introducing 2 new heroes, the legendary Druid Anora, who can summon powerful minions, and Ymeret, who can transform into a dragon egg and revives after death. Owning these heroes will make clearing stages a breeze. Add stunning heroes to your collection with over 34 summoning crystals for daily logins. Complete events to earn free new skins and free legendary heroes, and develop your team's equipment in preparation for the intense guild boss and strategic immortal codex. During the first anniversary, you can explore the new limited time game mode, Tower of Celebration. Here, strategic team formation is going to be key to conquering bosses and earning incredible rewards. Watcher of Realms is holding a special website event where you can participate to get huge rewards, so don't forget to check out the website event and download this game by clicking the link in the description. So you can do these glitches at any point in Fallout 4. You're just going to want to head to any settlement workshop bench and then enter the settlement mode by pressing A on it, or you can just hold down select. You'll then have an option to deconstruct all of the trees for wood and all of the cars for steel. These are obviously the 2 most common materials in the game, so it's very accessible to do this. After you've got some wood and steel, we can start with method 1. And then I'll show you method 2 afterwards and explain why I actually think it's better. But both have their pros and cons. So for method 1, you'll need to get rank 2 of the local leader perk. Now, if you've not seen my video on how to get unlimited special stats and level up really fast, I'll link them down below in the description. But you can just craft wooden shelves repeatedly to level up enough to get rank 2 of the local leader perk. They only require wood to build and level you up each time you craft one. They also stack on top of each other, making it a really quick way of leveling at the start of the game. But once you have that local leader perk, we can then start with method 1. So head over to your settlement workbench and activate it, or hold down select to enter build mode. And then scroll across and select the stores icon just here. You can now build a bunch of different stores, and the better the store, the more caps you'll be able to make, but I'll talk more about that in a moment. For now, we're just going to be starting out with the basic trading stool as an example of how this works. As you can see, this only costs 3 steel, 5 wood, and 300 caps to build, which you will make back in a moment. If you don't have 300 caps yet, you can just do some looting and sell it to a local trader, but it's pretty easy to get 300 caps, so I'm assuming you know how to do that. Next though, for step 2, we're going to build our basic trading stand. And if we hover over it, you can see at the bottom here that we have an option to store it or scrap it. Now we're going to be using a glitch which lets us store and scrap it at the same time. So listen very carefully because a lot of people get confused here. So the first thing you need to do is press and hold the scrap button. This works on keyboard or controller, and I'll show you an example in a moment. And then right after, you're going to release it and then press and hold the store button. And again, this works on every platform. For example, I have an Xbox controller right here. So you're going to press and hold the scrap button like this, and then you'll need to slide your finger across to press and hold the store button. This is the best way to get the timing exactly right, and if you do get it right, you'll see both menu options for both scrapping and storing the item pop up at the same time, overlaying one another. And at this time, you should still be holding down the store button just like me. Otherwise, one of those options will disappear. Obviously, if you mess up, just try again. You need to be fast. If it just comes up with scrap, then you were too slow. And if it just comes up with store, you were too fast. But once you get both of these options at once, while still holding the store button, you're going to want to now say yes to scrapping the trading stand. And as you can see, I'm going to get half my wood, steel, and 150 caps back, which is obviously half the amount of caps I originally used to build it. It will make sense in a moment. So while holding down the store button still, I'm going to press the scrap button to scrap it, and then I'm going to press yes. I also want to store the trading stool at the same time. So So now if I go to my settlement workbench, you'll be able to find the 150 bottle caps that we got from scrapping it. But then if we back out and actually open up our build menu again, you can see there's a little number 1 next to the trading stand because we also stored it as well. So now what we can do is just put that same trading stand back down again without using any materials or caps because it was stored there. And then we'll just repeat that same process again. So once again, we're going to scrap store it at the same time and then say yes to both of these options. And that's going to put another 150 bottle caps into the workbench. So now we have 300 bottle caps there. But if we want to make more money, we just go and put that same trading stool down again, and we just carry on doing this over and over. And you don't actually need to go to the workbench and check. You can actually just stand there, drop the trading stool down, scrap and store it at the same time, carry on doing that over and over while standing in the same spot. And each time you do it, it's going to be adding another 150 bottle caps into the workbench. But you're probably thinking, okay, well, this is pretty slow. Well, before I show you the second method, there is actually a much faster way of doing this. So let's quickly go over that. If we go back to the building options and then go to stores and then navigate to the armor trading stand, you'll see that there's multiple stands that we can build here. Firstly, the cheap 300 cap version, which we just built, but then the next one is actually 1,000 caps. And then the third one is 3,000 caps. The only drawback is that to build the third version, the best version, you will need the cap collector perk rank 2, which to be honest is a really good perk anyway because it makes everything you sell worth more caps. But if you watch my leveling guide, link below in the description, you're probably already level 300 at this point. So let's build a level 3 armor trading station for 3,000 caps, 5 wood and 3 steel. And then once again, we're just going to select it and then we're going to scrap and store it at the same time. And as you can see, this time we get half of our materials back again and 1,500 caps. So then just say yes to scrap and storing it. And if we check the workbench, you'll see that we get 1,500 caps stored in there. But again, we can still place our stored armor trading stool just back on the ground. And obviously if we do it again, there's now 3,000 caps in the workbench stored there. And so you can literally just stand on the spot and scrap and store it repeatedly to get unlimited caps really quickly. And now if I go and check the workbench after, I have 9,000 caps sitting here and I can transfer these into my inventory. So you can easily make 10,000 caps a minute by doing this method. But again, that's only method 1. Now I want to show you guys how to do method 2, which in my opinion is much better. But if you found the video helpful so far, please do leave a like. So the best thing about method 2 is that you don't need any perks to do this one, which means you can do it at level 1 right at the start of the game. So starting from the vault, you're going to come into Sanctuary, and when you arrive, just go through the gap between the houses. And on the right hand side behind the blue house, you'll find the root cellar. So if you come down into the cellar, you're going to find 3 golden bars just placed on the shelves. Now you actually only need 1 gold bar to do this trick, or you can even buy 1 gold by breaking down these materials. And as you can see, if you compare all the materials in Fallout 4, the most expensive material is nuclear material, which has a value of 10 caps for its weight of 0.1. And then the next would be gold, which has a value of 9 caps for its 0.1 weight. So really good value to weight ratio, which is important if you're in survival mode, as I'll mention in a moment. So what we're gonna do now is go to our workshop. We're going to drop the gold bar onto the floor. And again, this works with any material in the game, by the way. But after you've dropped it on the floor, the first step of this glitch is the same as how I showed you earlier. We're going to store and scrap the gold bar at the same time. And as you can see, the gold bar is going to give us 10 gold. And then we're also going to have stored the gold bar afterwards as well. So now if we check our workbench, you can press transfer and withdraw the 10 gold and our gold bar back again. But for this next part, we just need that 10 gold that we got from breaking down the gold bar. So again, we're going to drop that on the floor. And once again, we're going to store and scrap it at the same time. And now if we go to our workbench, you'll see that it's doubled from 10 gold to 20 gold because you scrapped it and stored it at the same time. So again, we're going to withdraw it, drop it on the floor, and sometimes it will drop into gold bars like this. Just pick it up and drop it again, and it will drop as a single stack. So we're going to do that again, and now we're going to get 40 gold, and it keeps doubling every single time. So it's going to go 80, 160, and so on. It's quite slow at the beginning, but as you get going, it gets faster and faster because it just keeps doubling. So after some time, I now have 20,480 gold, and each gold is worth 9 caps. So that's 184,320 caps in total. But obviously you can keep going. And at this point, I have a massive hoard of gold, which can be sold for a bazillion caps. I'm literally a billionaire in Fallout 4. Probably the richest player there's ever been. The problem now becomes, though, is how do you fast travel and sell the gold when you have like 8,000 carry weight? Because we can't fast travel and we walk really slowly everywhere. Well, that's when we're going to be using this next glitch, which you've probably seen from my previous video. So to do this, we're going to go to the Red Rocket Station, which is just south from Sanctuary here on the map. And here you're going to be able to find the follower Dogmeat. But this will work with any companion in the game. So once you have a follower, come back to the settlement where you spawned all your gold and drop it on the floor. You can now command your companion by selecting them, and then your cursor will change to these 3 arrows here. And at this point, if you stand back from the gold and just hover over it, you can tell your companion to pick it up. This will allow your companion to pick up more than they can normally carry. So they can be over encumbered, but you can still tell them to pick stuff up. So now Dogmeat is holding most of our gold. I left some of it in the workbench. So because our companion's holding everything, we can still fast travel. So if we go and fast travel to Diamond City, and then once we arrive, we can just unload Dogmeat of as much gold as we need, and then we can just go and talk to one of the many vendors and buy all of their ammunition, all of their armor and legendary weapons that we want. Now, most vendors in Fallout 4 will only have a certain number of caps. So normally I buy everything that I want, and then I just trade the amount of gold that is equal to that value back to the trader. And obviously using this second method, you can buy anything in the game. So it's like having unlimited caps. And now if you want to buy all of the best legendary armor in Fallout 4, check out this next video just over here, where I show you some awesome legendary weapons as well. And also don't forget to check out Watcher of Realms, today's video sponsor, linked in the description too.